welcome to the City Show here on its new day and time. Mondays, 9 p.m., just like the old days. There was a time, years and years ago, when we first started the Jersey City Talking Show. It was on Mondays at 9 o'clock on WNJR. I was on a few stations, but for the most part, we were on WNJR with the Jersey City Show. Then on Wednesdays, we brought in the Hudson County Show. So we did those 2 shows, 1-hour shows each week. And like I said, it was on at 9 o'clock. Every Monday, we did that for years and years. Until the Yankees took my time slot. Yes, the New York Yankees. They wanted my time slot for a Spanish language outlet. And off I was the radio. Fortunately, we got into video and TV at that time. But I look forward to being back on Monday nights. Probably bring something here on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. Maybe the Hudson County Show. I don't know yet. But I'm used to doing those 2 shows a week. And also, I got to bring back the old Tom's River Show as soon as I get my health back. And it's being challenged. We got all the snow. I had a knee surgery. Before we get into that, that's what we'll talk about. First of all, the city of Jersey City is closed tomorrow. The county of Hudson is closed tomorrow for snow. Check your municipalities. I'm sure the rest of the municipalities are closed also in Hudson County. Union City, North Bergen, Weehawken, Bayonne. I'm sure they're all closed tomorrow. If you have any business at the county, that's going to be closed there tomorrow also. Hopefully, with the plowing and we got to pick up the snow, but the weather's going to change. Unlike the last snowstorm, we're not going into like 10 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be close to the 40s during the week. Yeah, you might even get into the 50s during the week. So this will melt away. But you got to get some of this snow out of here. You still got some of the remainder from the old storm, and we just got hit with like 22 inches of snow. What we're going to talk about before we go to break. Snow, of course. Let's talk about snow. Jersey City's in the hole for $250 million. Pompidou is definitely dead, but we wasted a lot of money on that. I'm talking about Liberty State boat storage. Craig Guy has his State of the County speech this week. I assume it's still on. Check for that. A whole bunch of other stuff, tariffs, Jersey City trash contract, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But right now, let's break for commercial. You listen to The City Show. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, we're back. You listen to the City Show here, Pat Amelia. We're live on GGR. And as I say every week, download the Live 365 app. If you're listening, you already did it. But tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom. Download the Live 365 app. There's a lot on there besides me. There's music, podcasts, you name it. It's on Live 365, and it's all free. So download the app. Take the moment. You can do it while you're listening to me. Take the minute. Download the app. And I'll just drone on here as I do every week. Snow. Yeah, they got a little bit of snow. Yeah, that's 22 inches in Jersey City. And it was a very sustained storm. A lot of wind. We lost juice in the heights there about 3 times. But not for long. It's, a few minutes here or there. There are people throughout the state that lost juice since 11 o'clock last night. My kid's got a place in Seaside Heights where I'm doing my recuperating from never-ending knee surgery. There are 76,000 people from JCP&L that are out of juice. JCP&L, in my opinion, is awful. They need to be kicked out. Their infrastructure is terrible. Tom's River, whether it's bad weather or not, they always have outages with JCP&L. Seaside Heights, they get their feed from JCP&L. But they had their own power company here, so they're responsible for their own wires, transformers, so they move on things pretty quick. Billy Ramboli with DBW does a very good job down here. Like I said, there was, some outages down at Seaside, but for a couple of minutes, Seaside, like I said, Jersey City had 3 outages, but they were just short term. But also, can you think about that? Imagine not having juice since 11 o'clock last night. You have no heat, you have no electricity. Hopefully, you got a Generac. So I was telling my wife, said, we may want to look into a Generac. Talk to G and Evelyn about this. Maybe get a Generac for the Seaside house because JCP&L is just too shaky. And God, just think of that cold, the snow and the wind, and you have no juice, no heat. That's awful. But Jersey City, the plows are out. Solomon was doing some updates on Instagram and Twitter. There's a long way to go. I know people are already bitching about the plowing. You got a long way to go. But there's some knuckleheads out there, too. On Congress Street, we got to dig out your cars. And you got to put the snow somewhere. Got to go somewhere. And, of course, it's going to go out in the street. But you got to, I do a piece. I didn't post it this time, but normally I do a piece, winter tips, on what to deal with how to deal with the snow. And in the piece, I say, don't throw the snow in the street. And now saying that, as you throw the snow in the street, spread it out. Don't have big piles of snow out there. Somebody was digging out their cars, and they actually managed to build like a 3-foot wall on Congress Street just before Central Avenue that actually stopped a fire truck from going down the road, down Congress Street. We all realize you got to put the snow somewhere, but you spread it out. You take your shovel and you walk about 10 feet each direction and just shake it out there. And eventually the plows are going to come by again, and some of the snow that you threw in there may get thrown back on your car, but then you do the same thing. It's like rinse and repeat. But don't be a friggin' idiot and just pile it up in the street, because that's not going to work. And the other thing, when you're digging out your car, dig out a path for the guys picking up the garbage. We'll get into the garbage contract also with the city. And have some room behind your car or somewhere by in front of your house that the guys can come in, get off the truck. They don't want them going over a mountain of snow. But they're not, you know what? They're not going to go over a mountain of snow. Your garbage can is going to sit out there. Right now, we're not doing garbage pickup in Jersey City. For that matter, Seaside Heights isn't doing it till next Friday. But there's nobody in Seaside Heights this time of year. You know, there are like 1,000 people down here. It's an ideal place to recuperate. But the city, you know, Solomon did a pretty good job with the first snowstorm. We started picking up. It's like $42,000 an hour, by the way, to pick up the snow. We probably, on the main drags, Central, all the shopping districts, we probably should, again, go pick up the snow. But again, the problem becomes, where do you put the cars? Yeah, move your cars. Well, move them where? Move them into the school parking lots? Well, yeah, now the cars are all snowed in there. And the kids need the spots. Right now, the schools are closed tomorrow, and you got to dig your cars out. There's really no good place to put cars. And the thing with Jersey City people, there's much of people try to tell you, oh, but you don't need a car in Jersey City. Yeah, bull. We're car people, Jersey City. Jersey City people have always been car people. And it's funny when they say move the car. For that matter, if you're parking down at the light rail New Jersey Transit lots down by the Liberty Science Center, you got to have those cars out by 8 a.m. tomorrow. No matter how snowed in they are, get out there and dig them out. Because New Jersey Transit, which is still out of service right now, but they're saying they'll be operating overnight, the worst transportation system in the country. You know, I'm looking at pictures in New York City. Who got, as much snow as we did. There's buses were running the streets. You know, they got better equipment than like we do in Jersey City. Probably the best snow equipment in Hudson County is North Bergen. They're tremendous with dealing with the snow. But these snows are challenging. Brian Stacker's pretty good. You'll see him out there with the backhoes and the bulldozers going on. Jersey City's got to get it. What somebody's got to do. Somebody's got to take the lead for shared services. Somebody's got to be the snow guru, the snow czar, where that city has all the equipment. Same thing like with road paving. Jersey City spends millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they'll give our contract for $14 million to do street paving. We should be doing that. We should have the equipment. We should do it for other towns. We should be doing shared services with the state, the county, municipalities, Hoboken, Bayonne. There's money to be made, and there's overhead that we can control. And we're going to be talking about the $250 million deficit soon. I haven't heard any plan yet from Solomon how we're going to cut that out aside of trying to get some help from the state. Now getting $250 million. I don't know how much you're getting from the state, period. You get some distressed city aid, but it's not going to be enough. But that's one of the ideas. But we could invest in better snow equipment. Our departments at DPW should have those hot tubs that they have in New York City, where you bring it over by one of the sewers and you pile the snow in and it melts the snow. In the old days, go back to Jerry McCann and Brett Shundler. I think even during Glenn Cunningham days, maybe Healy, we used to take the snow and dump it in the Hackensack River, right down by public service, right by where I'm born and raised, down by Dog Patch there. Dump it in the Hackensack River. But the environmentalists like, oh, you can't do that. You'll be polluting the water. Well, where do you think this melting snow is going? There's some special place? No, it's going there. So we may as well just cut out the middleman of the thawing and take it and get it down to the Hackensack River, dump it again. Or pile it up down there. PS&G leveled a lot of their property down in Dog Patch, right along the Hackensack River, foot of St. Paul's Avenue. We could probably pile up snow there and let it melt. We just got to talk to PS&G. For that matter, I'll probably text Solomon later on today and suggest that. Maybe we just pile up down there if necessary. But we got to get some foresight in how we want to handle storms. Now, listen, this is the worst storm I've seen since 1978. For that matter, I was a graft on, I think it was Pix 11. I think they had like 5 storms. I lived through 5 of them outside of 1947. I lived through all the other storms. 1996, it was like a blizzard every day, I think. I was repairing tractor trailers back then. It was like every day we were digging out of a massive snowstorm. 78, when I first started dating my wife, there was snow all the time. But back then also, the weather changed. This week, you're gonna get some melting, and hopefully, that'll take care of it by the end of the week. There's some research and some snow equipment. I got this electric snow shovel, which did a pretty good. It's a work snow shovel. I got the leaf blowers and the it's also a mulcher. Got this thing years ago. Go in the backyard on Congress Street and all the tree branches. This thing would just mulch up those branches and leaves. You put the powder in a bag and you can use it for mulch later. This was pretty good. The only problem is the piece of equipment is my knees. Now, I think I told you last week, at the last snowstorm, I finally get to go back to the studio, work the day. I'm leaving to go pick up my wife, and she's kind of hovering around me so I don't hurt myself. I have a young mind, as I was told. My mind is still very young. Unfortunately, the body is getting to be 69 years old. Now, I'm leaving the studio, and I normally park up high by the studio by Tunley Avenue. But this case, because of the snow and the bad parking, I was down low, so I went down the rear entrance, and there's a couple stairs there. And, of course, I fell down the icy stairs. Boom, bounced off a dumpster, hit the sidewalk. I'm laying there in the ice and the snow on the sidewalk there. I haven't tried this new yet. Need to get up from a laying position. It was my chance now. Fortunately, it was a dumpster I could lift myself up with. I banged up the new knee. I just got it replaced. It was like 5 weeks, 6 weeks or so outside of getting it replaced. I tore the ligaments in the knee, dislocated the kneecap. Friday, I'm seeing a surgeon, a changing surgeon. My guy moving to Florida, him and his wife. So I got a new guy, Dr. Wiener. Kind of a doom and gloom guy. I like a personality guy, you know, but he's a good orthopedic. So we're gonna go to the battle plan here on Friday at 27th. Yeah, I'm pushing to say, they do these orthoscopic surgeries. Can we just fix the ligaments? Because he says that here, we're going to work on the ligaments, reposition the kneecap, but I'll be prepared for full knee replacement again. I'm like, I don't want to do that again. It is a very tough surgery to recover from. I thought hips were, it turns out the knee. Yeah, for the first 2-3 weeks, it was very hard getting up from a seated position. It's super painful. I don't want to go through a whole knee replacement. I may have to override the orthopedic. Let's fix the ligament. Let's just get that kneecap in, and I'll see what I can do. But I think I'm going to have to get an x-ray now. I noticed my right knee, which also needs to be replaced, is having issues. But it's in bad shape. But we just did x-rays on that, a few months ago. So I was hoping to do that maybe during the summer. But it has to be done. But, of course, I get a new surgery. I fall. Now, the thing is, I'm going to have a scouting mission done at the studio before I get up there. There's a few things I want to do this week. I'm not back full-time yet. I really can't walk around as well as I would like to with the torn ligaments in the kneecap. There's got to be some parking. We got to make sure the freaking sidewalks are shoveled. I can't risk falling on my ass again. So we'll do some scouting on that. I got a lot of writing I got to do. I got to write some pieces. I got to write some pieces for the high school kids, some new commercials, that sort of thing. Hopefully, I can go to work. I'd like to be there Wednesday and Thursday this week. We'll see how the snow and the weather does, if it permits me to do that. But I was looking at some new equipment. We should have the foresight. Like, I got this electric snow shovel. This thing works, but my knees let me down. Hopefully, next winter, my knees will be better and I can push this thing around. But I really did a good job. I did a lot of square footage before I realized I shouldn't be out doing this because I'm really killing my knees doing this now. Because, I can't use my cane or anything as I'm pushing this thing. But I'll tell you what, it was taking the snow right to the sidewalk and right into the front of the house, doing a real good job. That would have been a lot of manual labor, lifting that snow and throwing it. This thing was doing it. You can direct the snow. I seen a piece with a snow plow. I think it was like $800, and it's a heated snow plow. The blade, it's got like a motor too. It rolls along, and it pushes and melts the ice in the snow at the same time. It was like $800. Money's tight right now. It's been tight since the pandemic, and just continues to get tighter and tighter. But if I get an extra $800, I need some tires. But somewhere before the following winter, I'm gonna do more research on that snowplow that you walk behind with the heated blade that pushes and melts the snow. I may be getting me one of those things. But I tell you, I strongly recommend the electric snow shovel. I do have a Snow Joe snow blower in Jersey City we use. I do the front of my house, do Harry's house to take care of my neighbor. I'm a good neighbor. We get all that taken care of. But instead of just reacting, I'm going to plan better. I got good shovels. I got the big bristle broom. You want to get the snow off your car, get a nylon bristle broom, knock her right the hell off there. Do your driveway aprons. If you get out there. Also, I seen a guy with a leaf blower. He was blowing the snow along pretty good. I may have to bring my works leaf blower down here also. Wherever I am, my equipment's going to be with me. I think that's enough snow. Hopefully you dealt well with the snow. I know in North Bergen, they're looking for snow shovelers, kids who want to make, or it doesn't have to be kids. I send a text to all my high school students if they want to make $18 an hour. They're looking for snow shovelers there. Years ago, Kevin Sluker in Jersey City had a whole team of people that would automatically show up at senior homes and start shoveling the sidewalks and the steps. Maybe that's something I could talk to Solomon. We're losing a good guy down there, Greg, who's running DPW. I think Greg's leaving on the 15th. The city wants to go in a different direction. Maybe we look at how Greg handled this blizzard. Maybe we found our DPW director and the one we have right now. But hopefully, as I said, with this storm, the weather changes. We get some good melting. But the other storm was with us for like 3 weeks. As soon as the weather changed, that snow was gone in a couple of 3 days for the most part, unless you really piled it up. But the problem was with the snow, you can't help but pile it up. I got piles. I'm directing my kids on what to do with the snow. Build a pile here, maybe a little sidewalk wall. Make sure you leave a spot for the garbage cans. Put a cone over the oil fill, that sort of thing. Don't kill yourself. Go out a few times to shovel. Like, we got a big front porch, 14 steps. One of the reasons why I can't recuperate in Jersey City was 14 steps, and there's another 18 on the inside. I told just do half the steps right now, and then the next day when the sun is shining, go out and do the other half, but get yourself passable, get the path coming out of the basement. Again, the oil fills. If we need an oil delivery, we can find it. And, have at least 3-4 foot of sidewalk space for, wheelchairs, food carts, baby strollers, that sort of thing. The same thing I did here, but you got to pile it somewhere. So I got like mountains of snow in my front yard and then on the side yard. So there's nothing else you can do. But hopefully, February is a horrible month. I've always had problems in February. We got hit with these storms. I hurt my leg again. But we get into March as soon as possible. March, what is that? March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. Bring that lion, baby. I don't know what we want to talk about February, but February is flat out awful. That's enough for the snow. Jersey City, baby. We are $250 million in the hole. And James Solomon, Mayor Solomon, is doing his tour of all awards. I'm the broke tour, I'm calling it. I haven't heard any ideas. For that, I invited him just to use the radio. He could talk to everybody at once. I'm like between my illnesses here. I had the stent done, then I had a knee done. I'm like a year behind where I want to be on the radio. But I'll get this thing going. All right. I'm clearing up the hours here because I want to get the city council people in Jersey City. Hoboken, we want to work with them in North Bergen. We'll be doing town halls there. My high school kids. All these programs I got there. I'm going to talk to the WWE. I'm probably following up on that tomorrow. Maybe do a wrestling radio show. That's how I started. I'd rather not do it myself. I'd like to have the high school kids do it. If not, maybe I get John Hines, who's a big wrestling mark, and Fernando Uribe, both of those guys. It was surprised to find out years and years and years ago I hosted a wrestling radio show. But the Jersey City, we are $250 million in the hole. The thing is, how do we get out of that hole? That's a tough one. How do we get out? We got to figure it out. We got to do some shared services. I said last week, we need to revisit programs, hit a reset button to the Glenn Cunningham administration, then look at every program and incentive we put forward after that and see, do we really need this? Because we're paying for it. $250 million, if necessary, becomes one hell of a tax increase. And don't forget, the city school system are certainly going to come up with another tax increase for you. And we got to stop using the word affordability. I was saying last week, I was taking a shot at Gator every time we said affordability. That's a buzzword in Jersey City. We're not going to get there at this rate. And the affordable housing projects we keep trying to, they're 15 to 20% with a private sector. 80% becomes market rate, and affordable housing is time limited. So it's considerable amount of time, 20 maybe 30 years. That's devil dealing, because to get those 15 to 20, we're giving up a lot in density, variances, possibly abatements. we're not making it affordable that way either. And the other thing I said, if people can't afford, especially when we're trying to force these people in downtown Jersey City, you can't afford to live in downtown Jersey City. You may get a cheaper rent, but you can't afford the Wonder Bagels down there. You can't afford the restaurants. You can't afford anything down there. But what we need to do as far as affordability, again, you got to sit down with the state, the county, the municipality, and figure out in the feds how we can build affordable housing. And years ago, we used to do that. I don't know why low and middle income people can't live in high rises. Rich people can, but low and middle income can't. We keep building townhouses. We're knocking down high rises to build townhouses. That we need to revisit. We got to figure out how we're going to cut down that $250 million. One thing is the garbage contract, which we're going to talk about later in the show. Shared services, looking at programs that the city keeps bringing on, but we don't have the money for it, obviously. Those things need to be looked at. Should we have them? Should some of these programs exist? Got to look at it. You know, how much is it costing the city, and what's the net result of these programs that we're paying big money for? That has to be looked at. They all sound good on paper until the check comes due, and then can we pay for them? We got to look at that. Shared services, I am a big believer in that. Any way we can do shared services with the county, the state, Bayonne, Hoboken, whatever way we can do it, if we can save ourselves money or bill money to these municipalities, we should be looking at that. We got to go back to, again, we got a good guy at DPW. I'm sure Greg could get this done. I would bring back the incinerator authority because somewhere along the line we're going to get back in the garbage business. That's going to happen. We have to get a control on the expenses in this city. Anybody looking for an increase citywide at school, got to stop. We can't have that right now. We've got to become affordable. We got to figure out how to bring expenses down and how to fill that $250 million budget gap. And somewhere along the line, we got to get back in the hospitals. You know, with between the snow and the budget gap and all, what the hell's happening with Christ Hospital or Heights Hospital? Well, that kind of fell off the table, didn't it? We got to put that back on the table because we need that in Heights. So these are the things we got to look at. Got to figure out how to make the city somewhat affordable, and we got to stop with the nonsense of the 15, 20% affordability. We got to build units that are completely affordable, and we got to figure out how to fund them. If anything, we could take money from the developers instead of the 15, 20%. Give us the money. I think we were doing that, affordable housing fund, and start building our own, but not 2 or 3 units on a footprint. If I can build 30 units on the market rate, could build 30 units on a footprint where we're building 2 or 3 units, we should do that. But we have to manage the property. One of the things that went to hell in a handbasket with some of our low-income, middle-income high-rises was bad management. That has to stop. Yeah, I realize there's political hacks in the world, and they're going to give you your team positions. But some positions, you got to have brains. And when it comes to managing the city's properties, we got to have some brains. I don't know if it's true that Phillips sold 1,000 properties. I don't know how a mayor could just get away with that. But there's a case where we didn't have a lot of brains looking at things that was true. Because we managed to divest ourselves of a tremendous amount of assets to try to plug a budget that may not be pluggable. So you really got to look at the budget and figure what do we need and what we don't need. Because eventually you're going to go to the asset cupboard and it's going to be bared. There's going to be nothing there to sell. So we got to start building up assets. We got to make the city affordable, and we got to figure out exactly what we can afford at City Hall. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You listen to The City Show. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
And we're back. Listen to the City Show here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. We are doing it live. I just got a message here from the city of Jersey City. Let's see what the message is. Crews are working overnights on the streets. Critical. Do not shovel snow onto roads and creates ice hazards. Morning property owners must clear the sidewalks, corners, crosswalks, or face fines. Inspectors will be out. Get early details. Go to jcnj.org/advisory. The non-emergency number is 201-547-4900. Stay safe. And this is from the city of Jersey City. What they're saying overnight, the crews are going to be out there doing the streets, plowing, dropping some rock salt, making sure they don't want you to throw any snow and ice into the street because of the habit. And in the morning, property owners must, capital letters, must clear the sidewalks, corners, crosswalks, or face fines. I don't know about crosswalks. Am I responsible for them? And the corners? I guess with my properties there, I suppose I am. That just came in and just got the text. Just came in. Now I got to find my notes. Pompadoo. Papa don't. Papa don't isn't going to happen. I think we touched base on this last week. The New York Post ran a story today on how the city of Jersey City wasted $20 million. I think starting since 2018? No, I never goes that far. No. 2022, I think it was, something like that. I think that was about 4 or 5 years ago, not 2014, whatever, 12, 10, both years. No, I think it was 2022. we started looking at the Pompidou, and we managed to waste $20 million. And we wasted it on trips to France. We wasted it on fees to the Pompidou Museum. We wasted a tremendous amount of money on consultants to the Pompidou Museum for the pathway. At first, we spent a lot of money having people come in and look at the building and giving us ideas of how we can make it into a museum. Some of these guys got paid 3 times. Most of this money, all of it pretty much, came from the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency. Supposedly, a couple of property owners, developers, may have thrown some bucks in there. But the city of Jersey City managed to, according to the story in the New York Post, waste $20 million on a project that is going nowhere. And you kind of seen it was going nowhere a couple of years ago. You knew it was really going nowhere when the city wanted to put a whole new SID in just to tax property owners, and not the businesses this time. They were going to practice landlords on buildings. There was a lot of red flags. It was a vanity project. And listen, I had no problem with vanity project if we can afford it. There was a vanity project here for Mayor Fulop with Pompidou. Healy had a vanity project. He wanted to bring the Jets training camp. I think Jerry was going to throw the recreation department off the field in Caven Point to get the Jets over here. I have no problem with that. You want to put some jewelry on Jersey City's hand? Fine, but it's got to be affordable. And it was only going to get worse, according to the story in the New York Post. It's if you have the New York Post app, you can read the story now or tomorrow morning, I guess, in the paper. And it was going to be worse. The operating expenses for the museum was going to be like $14.5 million a year, with expected revenues around $4 million. So the city was going to be on the hook for like $10-11 million a year. But it's incredible that we wasted $20 million on this without anything signed, sealed, delivered, or the city behind it. That is a tremendous amount of money. Now, Mayor Fulop he did a lot of good. No administration you're going to be 100% in agreement with. It's just not going to happen. Like, I'm married coming on 48 years with my wife. We're not in agreement with everything, and she's been an out-and-out angel, taking care of me through the recuperation from the knees. And probably the only person that doesn't want to see me go through a full knee replacement again is my wife. She's the one that's been, keeping me together here. But we don't agree on everything. So you're not going to agree with whether it was Mayor Schindler or Mayor Cunningham or Mayor Healy or Mayor Fulop or Mayor Solomon. You're not going to agree with everything. But this is one hell of a blow to the legacy of Mayor Steve Fulop. A waste of $20 million. And if anything, it was his project. You should have pushed the damn thing through while you were the mayor. Because once it was falling into another, you've seen it in the debates. I produced a lot of debates this year for council people and the mayors. I think I did 3 or 4 mayoral debates. I did one for Hudson Media, did one for an NJCU. I did a runoff debate. Yeah, at least 3 of them. And each one, the Pompidou was not going to make it past, whether it was Mayor McGreevy, Mayor O'Day, or Mayor Solomon. It wasn't going to make it. So if anything, Fulop should have nailed down that project before he went out of office. But the red flags were starting to pop up, and even Fulop couldn't get around them. So maybe you cut bait there. But, $20 million for something that wasn't signed, sealed, and delivered, that is hell of a waste of money. Yeah, I can see some seed money here and there. You want to explore something. But $20 million? Now, I heard the numbers were high, but I didn't realize it was that high, $20 million. That's going to be a tough one to live down. I don't know if anybody will, any of the, maybe I will someday, I don't know. Maybe we'll look back on the 12 years of Fulop and do some investigating reporting. That's probably something more for John Heinous than I do. He's more of a news reporter than I am. Yeah, I don't consider myself a reporter or a journalist for that matter. I'm a host. That's why a lot of these people, they got a cell phone. They're out there doing things on YouTube. Yes, I'm a journalist. No, you're not. Yeah, you're less than I am, and I'm a goofy host. Some of these people, but that's probably something for Highness or tapped into those guys. Let them do that. But somewhere along the line, somebody's going to take a look at the Fulop years, and this is going to be one hell of a black eye for Steve Fulop. There'll be some other things. Not everything works out, and that's understandable. but usually it don't work out, and you're sitting on $20 million loss. That is a tough one. Liberty State Park. Now, for years, the guys are friends of Liberty State Park, Sam Pessin and the whole group. They're a great organization. But sometimes you got to let things evolve. Now, Sam was a great guy, one of the civic warriors as I was and still am. His father and him fought the creation of Liberty State Park and the maintaining of Liberty State Park. But a Liberty State Park has to evolve. It has to, if it can produce money, let it produce some revenue. It's less money, dig it into your pocket. I had no problem with, I remember when Brett Shelton wanted to put the water park down there. I had no problem with that. See, the thing is, when I go to Liberty State Park, I don't see anything different. Going back to when Glenn Cunningham was the mayor. It still looks the same. A run down, dilapidated. Yeah, it's a beautiful park. Maintenance could be better. But, the state can make some money out of this. Now, there is a lease that needs to be signed. Again, Phil Murphy, the ex-governor, why he didn't execute his own lease is beyond me. He left that unsigned, left that for Governor Sherrill to deal with. It has to do with a big storage for boats at the marina down there. And it's like a 50-year lease, and it's money for the park. Yeah, you can use that money to put barbecues in, invest money in the park, and not reach into the pockets of the residents. Now, there's there's pros and cons here. I know there's people who want just leave it as open space so we can sit there and look at the skyline of New York and keep spending money every year out of your tax dollars to maintain this huge park. Some people wanted to put an amphitheater in there, recreation. The fireman guy wants to extend the golf course. He wants to put an extra hole or move a hole, 18th hole there. I forget what the argument was. But it was worth a ton of money. Go ahead. It's huge. And there's bulkheads that got to be repaired. We got to come up with money. Now, nothing against Friends of the Liberty State Park. I don't know how much money they ever put into it. See, I'm part of the Friends of the Lowe's. And the Friends of the Lowe's, whatever money they raised, they put into that theater. And if they didn't have money, they did elbow grease. And that theater is going through renovation now. I'm not sure we like the renovation that's going on. I'd like to get in there. Things are going to change pretty rapidly with the redevelopment agency and probably the operation of the Lowe's. I think there's going to be some changes there. I want to get in there. We should do some video. We should be documenting this. It should be one hell of a story for the city of Jersey City. Because here we're spending about $130 million renovating the landmark Lowe's Theater. What are we going to get for that? That'll be very interesting to see. How much say is the city going to have? That'll be very interesting to see since you're putting $130 million into it. I know the Friends of the Lowe's are going to have like 50 dates a year so they can put on their cultural events and work with the community as they always have. But I'd be really interested to see what the hell the city is getting back for $130 million. Now, this, again, is a Mayor Phillip deal. Hopefully it's a better deal than the deal with Pompidou. I don't know, because they don't like letting people in there. They don't want anybody in there. But we'll get in there. I'll talk to Mayor Solomon. We'll get in there and start documenting what's going on. Fortunately, the Friends of the Lowe's did a lot of documenting with the video and still photography. But I think he burned out one of my GoPros. I haven't thought about that in years. But I think Colin burned out one of my GoPros filming in there. I'm not lending Colin Egan any of my GoPro cameras anymore. My new gimbal ones I have. Those gimbal cameras are nice too. Good camera. Yes, I'm chewing gum as I'm talking. But the Lowe's, Pompidou. Now, keep one other thing with Pompidou, we have to remember. There is 100,000 square foot. I almost forgot this part. There's 100,000 square foot space that the city got in exchange for Pompidou in exchange for a 30-year tax abatement. That is a huge space. And it's going to be right next to the landmark Lowe's, building it where the square ramp was. That is a very valuable piece of property. Ideally, the city should find a tenant for that. Try to get $70, $80 a square foot. I'm not that guy, but you want to find out what prices go on the square. There's a few developers we can talk to and find out what the going rate is. If we could rent that out to a good tenant, 10, 15-year lease, something along those lines, at $70, $80 a square, you could buy the Pathside building and maybe 54 Journal Square. I mentioned this last week. And start building up the asset catalog for the city of Jersey City. The Pathway building as a big building. There's a lot you can do in there. The 54 Journal Square, there's a lot you can do with that. Just the revenue alone from that rental space could pay the bonds on those two projects and still have some money for the city. You can't put all the money in the general fund because it would just get sucked up. It's like a black hole. Got no money. No matter how much you put in the general fund, ain't enough. It just gets sucked up. So any money that comes out of that Pompidou space has to be directed. But getting back to the Liberty State Park, I almost got that Pompidou space. If you can generate revenue to upgrade the park, then do it. There is a lot of space there. You want to have open space, it's a big enough park, you can do that. There's a lot of undeveloped space down there that we could still clean up and utilize that. There's money to be made there. There's money that we can stop digging into your pocket, then we should do that. Now, again, Sam Pessin, I appreciate everything they've done, but Sam's going to have to release the grip. I don't know how much grip he has, because I'm pretty sure that lease is going to get signed, because there's a lot of money there that can go to pay for upkeep and maintenance on that park, and you can get more people to enjoy the park. Not everybody just wants to sit there and look at the New York skyline. You know, even the 9/11 memorial, that's starting to fall into a state of disrepair. We don't have the money. And if we can generate some revenue, fine. I'm in agreement. Sign a lease for the boat storage. I would go back and look at the amphitheater. I would try to bring in a sports stadium in there of some sort. Whatever we can. And it's big enough you can accommodate a lot of people. You can keep on one side and open space on the other side. There's a lot of things you can do. Where else want to go here? Solomon. Let's talk about Mayor Solomon again. Guess what? I just found something we don't agree with. Yeah, Mayor Solomon. Mayor Solomon, in his wisdom, is in favor of the Franklin Street bike lane, or they call it the Vision Zero. What they're talking about doing on Franklin Street, going into Central Avenue by the Stop and Shop there, by the school, is making Franklin Street a one-way east with about half of the block, the street being a bike lane. And so everything else gets crushed into one lane. School buses, cars, the residents, parking, all that gets pushed into one side. Now, the flip side of that, this stupid friggin' idea, and they did a pilot program, and they had an open house where it was contentious. The people who live in the area don't want the friggin' bike lane. For that matter, I don't know anybody who wants the bike lanes outside of the bike people. And then, guess what? How many friggin' bikes are riding around Jersey City tomorrow? There doesn't. You'll see cars, you'll see trucks, you won't see no bikies. It's not a 24/7, 365 mode of transportation. And to keep creating traffic problems because of the bike lanes is asinine. I'm surprised Solomon is in favor of this. I don't know whose butt he's trying to kiss or accommodate here, but the people in the Heights don't want it. Nobody in their right freaking mind would want this. So you're going to have Franklin Street, a big half of it, a one-way, and the other half bike lanes, going west into Central Avenue. Manhattan Avenue, which was part of this, and I assume it still is, or it's another bike lane to nowhere. Manhattan Avenue would become a one-way going east, with half of Manhattan Avenue being a bike lane. Now, the fire department, I believe, told them, OEM, the police, there's not enough room for the trucks, the heavy equipment to make a turn. There's not enough room for the deliveries into the Stop and Shop to make a turn off of Manhattan Avenue, making a left, say making a little bit of Stop and Shop. Because guess what? We're going to have a bike lane in front of the Stop and Shop on Central, too. So that even cuts down more of your turning radius. It's asinine, what we talk about here. And we pat everybody, who could put a bike lane there? The Vision Zero. Yeah, we grew up in the Heights. I've been in the Heights 47 years now since I got married. Came from Dogpatch up to the Heights. We managed to go to school. Kids got in and out of that school there on Franklin Street every day for years and years and years. Not an issue. People rode bikes in Jersey City without bike lanes. I was one of them. I'd come home every night, me and my buddies. And back then, we were kids. We disappeared until the American Can Company lights came on. That was the mark in Jersey City. We would explore. We'd be in Kearney. We'd be in Northumberland. We'd be all over the place on our bikes. And we came home every night. We all made it. And we were 8, 10 years old. Now, adults, I must have been exceptional because I could ride a bike at 8 or 10 years old without bike lanes. And the people say, oh, you got so many cars. I'll tell you something. When I was riding bikes, we didn't have any ABS brakes. We didn't have any disc brakes. We had drum brakes. The cars were not as safe as they are today. There are no monitors, there are no sensors on those cars back when I was a kid, but we all made it. There's no reason for bike lanes. We all rode in. Yeah, you look at it now. You go downtown Jersey City, go Washington Street. And I would tell Philip when I went to City Hall, how many bikes I seen on my way from the studio to City Hall. I say like 6. Hundreds of cars I seen, but I see 6 bikes. It is asinine. But it's like a politically correct thing. It sounds good. Vision Zero and bike lanes. We're trying our best to be safe as streets. We're trying the bump outs, they make no sense. But the curb bumps out. There's a lot of things that make no sense to this. The bike lanes on Franklin Street, Manhattan Avenue, and Central Avenue make absolutely no sense. But of course, we're going to probably try to do this. But I'm surprised Solomon came out in favor of this. So I am disagreeing with Mayor Solomon. I am definitely against that, along with probably 70% of the people in the Heights. All right, let's take our last commercial break and listen to the City Show. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-8888 2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here. City Show. Got about 3 minutes left. Much to the chagrin of many people here. We are going to renew the contract for 1 year with Roselle for our trash contract and pickup and tipping. I've heard the last numbers are probably coming in about $20 million a year for the pickup and another $20 million a year for the tipping. What's tipping is where we dump it, where one half of it you're paying Roselle to pick it up at your curb. Another one we got to take it out to Newark to the Dart, where it gets dumped and then handled and shipped off to South Jersey, some of the southern parts of the states. So we're looking at about $40 million a year. It is an atrocious service. You see it; it's amazing how they miss the back of the truck. We need to take this year. We got to make sure this guy does a job. One thing that I'll talk to Solomon about. I got a little bit of experience in this. We have to get into the process of starting our own. Bring back the incinerator authority, and that'll be the head of the trash pickup. Right now, I'm waiting on pricing to come back. I'm looking into this. I looked into this 4 or 5 years ago, and Mayor Fulop and Brian Platt was the BA, and I sent them a rundown. I didn't have a price on property or workers' comp. I didn't have all the figures I needed, but for the most part, I had the amount of personnel we needed. We got to take this year to acquire the equipment. You're going to need about 26 trucks and probably 4 or 5 backup garbage trucks. You need mobile service units. You need tire trucks. You need mechanics. You need welders. You need diesel mechanics. You need hydraulic mechanics. All those have to be gotten. You need to build a building to accommodate the equipment. We're picking up at night, but you're going to have 2 shifts getting that equipment ready to go at night. There's a lot of maintenance. I'm looking at capitalize everything over 5 years. We could capitalize it over 10, and we're really saving a tremendous amount of money. We go into trash pickup ourselves. We're probably saving, even with me capitalizing it, over 5 years instead of maybe 10, because I could probably get 10 years out of the garbage trucks. We'll save a tremendous amount of money for the city of Jersey City and hopefully and definitely do a better job than that's being done now. We just can't continue with the terrible service we're getting. But we need to take this year, and if we don't, then we're foolish. Because Union City picks up their own garbage. North Bergen does it. It can be done. We can do it. We have the technology. We can do it. We just got to get the right people to do it. And maybe we even do a little contract with somebody in that business to help us make sure we get the logistics and everything done right. All right, I'm out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.